sir. Yes, sir. Let's get it. Let's get it. Let's get it. What's popping? What's going on with you, man? Hey, Tuesday morning. Kitchen had some renovations. You know, we had to finish cleaning up, man. We had a party last night. Went down. So we say, hey, man, let's get an extra hour in. Make sure the seats are clean. The menu was restructured and everything is on point. So we are here this morning for y'all. 1 hour late, but we here. We glad y'all here. And, hey, man, we here for another good one. It's almost that time to kind of get into the real football in a sense. And I know we are Dynasty players to the heart, but some of that reality of redraft is time to start talking and kicking in because in the end, we're going to find out today what's the biggest difference. So Rock will cook up something, and you know he got his menu lined up and queued up for you. Rock, man, how you feeling today, Playboy? And let us know why we here and why the people should have been standing at that door for an extra hour waiting on us, bro.
Well, we do appreciate you guys waiting on us to open up. My coworker actually got a call from the chef today. My coworker didn't even bother coming in today at work. So he sent up the bat signal. I'm going to be going into work after this show, but I had to tell the chef, sorry, chef, it's going to be a couple hours. I got to be cooking up with the people and with my dude Fizz. So I'm excited for this show. This is probably one of my favorite topics to discuss is the differences between Dynasty and from Redraft. You can already tell I'm excited. I'm just stumbling over my words, Fizz. But yeah, I'm just excited to get into the show.
No doubt, man. And the good thing is, for those that like fantasy football and those that just watch us, just to watch us, it all ties in. Real football ties into fantasy football at some point. I know we always talk about how we don't care what they do on the field. We just care about fantasy. But in reality, that's what layers over to fantasy, what they do on the field. You know what I'm saying? So we just here to kind of help you and remind you that it all correlates in the same bucket. And regardless if you watching us for fantasy content or if you just watching this because we just love to see us, man, we appreciate you either way. But before we get into the topic of the show, Rock, because I know you got to get to work and I'm already tired from work. What you thinking about just in reality of real football correlating to fantasy, right? When we look at these games on Thursday night, Sunday night, Monday night, and some Saturday nights, I mean, holidays, they got a different day for football every day, seem like this season coming up. But when you're looking at what's on the field and you're looking at your fantasy team in your phone or on your computer, are you one of those guys that literally every play you're watching your phone like, oh man, he got a point, oh man, he got a yard? Or are you one of those put my phone down, it's 1 o'clock, I'm gonna check it back at 6, 7 and see what's going on? Which type of guy are you, bro, on Sundays when it kick off?
Because I used to be one of those guys that was just glued to my phone and I couldn't enjoy the game because I was agonizing over the prospect of being ahead of somebody that I'm facing off that week by 1 or 2 points, and I'm watching their opponent and being like, oh man, it's on the last drop. Hopefully you don't pass it to this guy. So there are times where I do go into that mode. I can't help it when it's championship week or it's the playoffs though, Fizz. I am going to be glued to my phone. But most of the time, you know, now that I'm in more dynasty leagues, I usually just turn it off. I wait until the 1 o'clock games are done, see where I'm at, wait till the 4:30 games are done, see where I'm at. So I'm usually checking in after each game. And then I'm trying to get my ass to sleep before even the Sunday night or Monday night game is even over. So some of those games can go kind of late. What about you, Fizz? Are you glued to your phone or are you just watching the games, man?
Well, before I get into me, I just want to remind you that the Ravens play Buffalo Sunday night, man. You got to stay up for that one, Rock, man. You can't go to sleep too early, my brother. But me, I'm a psycho, man. I'm literally on my phone from 1 p.m. to about 12 a.m. to Monday morning because I'm on here just looking at every stat, every run, and now that I'm in multiple leagues and my leagues are growing, it's even worse now. So I am unfortunately a psycho when it comes to just staring at the production of what my team's doing and what my opponents are doing. But the one feeling that I hate that's the worst about being in multiple leagues is when you have 3 or 4 players on your team, but in other leagues, you're going against those 3 or 4 players. And it's like, bro, do I win this week or do I lose this week? I don't know which one I want. You know what I'm saying? So I always tell my father the reason why fantasy to me, and I mean, even parlays, right? Betting the gambling has gotten people. Like, I think correlating gambling to fantasy is almost like the same thing because you're checking for stats. You're checking for who's going to next play, who's going to score in this drive. So it's in a sense, it's like fantasy, except you're just getting money. But I always tell my father, I don't really watch Dallas games like locked in because I'm playing fantasy, bro. I got to watch all the games. I can't just watch my favorite team all day. Like, I got to know everything that's going on. And I think fantasy kind of helps the community to not just want to watch their game and then turn football off for the rest of the day. You know what I'm saying? Like, Red Zone was the best thing ever created because we see the best plays, all the touchdowns, and everything that's going on live. But it keeps us up to date with all of these players and these rosters and all the other players that we might not have watched that aren't in our region or our favorite team.
Yeah, my phone will be freaking dead, Fizz, by the time that the first quarter of the 4:30 games are out and rolling, man. Because I've looked at my phone so many damn times. I usually like, Fizz, taking a nap around halftime of the 4:30 games, wake up, and then it's just in time for the Sunday night game. Is usually what my go-to is. So but we've been yapping long enough. Maybe we should ask the people what their usual schedule is for the game.
For sure. I'm gonna get at them, bro. I hate how you keep talking about naps, bro. I already told you I have no idea what that is. I've never experienced it. So hey, enjoy them while you got them, my brother. All right. We got myself in here, reminding y'all that the kitchen will be open, man. So I gotta shout out myself for tapping in. My boy over there, man, Fantasy Football Garage, man. Shout out to you, brother. We gonna get on them underdog drafts, man. He's the underdog king, man. All he do is draft them. We need to learn. We need to get on. But me and my boy Rod gonna get back in them underdog streets real soon, Playboy. Trust me when I tell you. D-Walk said he can't make it to the live. He just here, chat, hold it down. But hey, you made it to type in and let us know that, man. So we know we appreciate you, D. Now walk on along up out of here, brother. But we appreciate you though. All right. Salt, man. Look, Salt. He was trying to do my boy Tibble real dirty on Sunday night, man. But I want to remind Tibble, man, hey, man, don't pay this dude no mind, man. He just shucking and jiving, man.
It didn't phase him whatsoever. You can't get under Tom's skin.
For sure.
That was an awesome show, too, by the way. Shout out to Tom. That was an awesome one.
But Tom being a wrestler, I'm sure that fans heckle him every time he got on the stage. You know what I'm saying? So in the ring. So we appreciate you though, Salt, man. Good to see you here, Playboy. Pops in here, man. He said it's a good day, game day Friday. So I'm guessing the Commanders play Friday because that's the only team he cared about going on and watching. And bro Brian, he said, is it a mock tonight? We'll keep you updated, bro. But we appreciate you here in the morning, man. I don't usually see you when the sun is out, brother. You usually come out, man, on the vampire hours, man. So I'm glad that you're here now.
No Sferatu.
We glad to see you here this morning though, bro. All right, we appreciate you, boy. He's in here. And yeah, man, like I said, we in the kitchen right now, Rob. Today is gonna be one of those Dynasty dreams, reality. Damn, I done messed the whole phrase up, bro. Redraft realities, Dynasty dreams, redraft realities, and we're really gonna break down, like I said, the difference between the two, or is it really a difference? I know I had brought up to you this morning a guy that wasn't on your list, and I talked about AJ Brown, and I actually put him on the thumbnail. And spoiler alert, AJ Brown is on the list. But the reason why I put him on the list is more so for myself. I always talk about how I don't want to draft him. I'll find another player later that I like, and this, that, and the third. Devonta Smith is cheaper. But in Dynasty, we are in a state where we look at age. We look at the offenses around the players, but more so, we judge players off, let's just say if you're 27 or 28, and it's another guy in the same range, same round that's 22, and the hype is real, right? Because AJ Brown doesn't really get a lot of hype. We don't hear a lot about him on the fantasy streets. Other than regular real football commentary, we don't hear much about the guy. I can literally might look up AJ Brown's value right now, and you might see 5 videos online because nobody's talking about him. But that's the Dynasty side of when I go in this draft. Do I take T. Higgins, who's in a high-powered offense, throwing the ball? Do I take a Rashee Rice, who we saw what he could do in 1 year? He got hurt. He's with Pat Mahomes. Do I take a Lad McConkey, who just broke out rookie season, right? But in reality, Lad McConkey's in a run-first offense, what we all believe. We always talk about this with the 2 coaches they got. In reality, T. Higgins is still the number 2 on his team, behind one of the best players, if not the best player at his position. So in reality, why not take AJ Brown when I believe this guy is the number 1 on this team? He's in an offense that we all are scared of, and he seems to prove us wrong every year. So I don't hate on them dudes. And in Dynasty, we never want to click on him. Every time it's like, I think I'm good to go. In reality,
man,
though, man,
Fizz, you went into a time warp multiple. Are you still with us?
I'm here. I'm here. Can you see me? Am I good?
Yeah, I can see you're real fuzzy. Maybe I can take over for a second.
Yeah.
You
Man,
talk,
look,
you talking about AJ Brown way too much,
bro. When you talk about AJ Brown, this is what happened. But I see my internet ain't kicked out. I'm good to go. Am I good to go now?
You look like an old dad being like this right now.
All right. So long story short, though, what I'm saying is the value of an AJ Brown in these drafts, to me, I'm kicking myself in the ass by really hating on him all the time. And in reality, bro, he is one of those guys that he can go maybe a round higher than what he's really going, but people don't want him because of the age factor, because of the run offense with Saquon Barkley. But we have a lot of those guys going behind him that can go closer. So I say all that to say today we're talking about guys like a AJ Brown who doesn't get much respect on their name in dynasty drafts, but in reality, bro, they are just as good as these young guys is going in round 2, 3, 4, and 5 when they're going in round 6, 7, 8, 9. So that's what we bringing today. Rock got a list of players. AJ didn't make it, but we definitely here to present it to y'all. And of course, they cutting grass out here, man. It's going down over here, Rock. Maybe we should have went at 10 o'clock.
It's all good. See, I always like asking these questions, Fizz, and we've talked about it before. Why should there be a huge difference between dynasty ranks and redraft ranks? I mean, you were talking about it earlier. People take youth in dynasty because they believe the dynasty market, those are the assets that are most valuable, Fizz. But what sinks a player's value more than anything? It's injuries and its lack of production. People get pissed when their highly drafted players like Marvin Harrison Jr. last year aren't producing, Fizz. So in Dynasty, you basically get a year grace period. But after that, if you ain't done nothing for me, man, your ass is going down in the ranks and people move on. So I think production will always be valuable. It's the easiest type of player to trade away and move. So for me, I operate, Fizz, in 2-year windows when it comes to Dynasty. So my Dynasty ranks aren't too far off from the redraft ranks. And this is why we're going through this exercise. The criteria for this list is a discrepancy of 5 or more spots. So spoiler alert, like you said, AJ Brown didn't make the list because he's number 10 in underdog redraft ranks, which is the criteria used for the redraft side is underdog ranks. I think they're the best and the most accurate when it comes to a sample with redraft. And then I use Dynasty Data Lab for the startups in Dynasty. So if you had 5 or more spots, you made this list. If you were under that, you didn't make the list. I started with 4, but then there was like 100 players on this list, Fizz. So I had to keep it to under that. So AJ Brown, he's 10 in underdog. He's 14 in Dynasty. So not too far off, Fizz, when it comes to that big of a difference. Maybe I think we're just in the South Harmon silo. Maybe we just hate on him a little bit too much here at South Harmon. So
Probably
that's what it is.
And to be honest, bro, just to finish off with the AJ Brown thing, I think in reality though, because you even brought it up to me that, bro, he's a dog. You're crazy for not wanting to take him and waiting on the value. I just think in the little circles that we always say we like to play, I'm a win now or play 1 or 2 year seasons. Why not take a guy that's 26, 27, 28, who's going to guarantee you top 10 production for this young guy that's 22, who you believe can take the next step? If you ain't playing in 2-year increments, you might need to go with the right now production, bro, instead of betting and gambling on your future with these young guys that we think are going to continue to be great. So with that being said, though, Rock, I know you got all your information. You got your chats, you got your sheets, you got your stats. What we will do is remind everybody to tap in, join in. Hey, man, share, like, subscribe. We appreciate all that. We're going to hit you with this reminder, let you know why we here. And we're going to be right back with the show, baby.
Welcome to South Harmon. We glad you here today. Like and subscribe, that's what we really appreciate. Welcome to South Harmon, we glad you here today. Like and subscribe, that's what we really appreciate.
Yes, sir. We back just like that. Thankfully, I needed that because they started going crazy with the grass cutting over here. So I guess they hit it at the right time. It's all good. But Rock, man, now that we here, we into the show. Let's go, big bro. How we doing?
All right. Let's start off with QB. And let's go to one of the guys that you have on the graphic right now in Dak Prescott. Mm-hmm. Dak Prescott is the QB 21 on the Dynasty Data Lab. On Underdog Fizz, he's the QB 12. So when I go through each of these players, Fizz, I want one thing from you. I need you to pick a side.
Yep.
Which side do you agree with more? You have to pick one or the other. So are you going to go with the underdog side where he's going to be the QB 12 this year? Or are you going to go with the Dynasty Data Lab side where maybe he's going to be closer to that 21 side and not pay off?
Got you. I'm saying that now. I'm starting it off now.
Yeah, let's start it off right now, and then we can discuss with each of these players. So
okay. Well, I'll be honest, bro. I think even 12 is a low blow to Dak, knowing that he got George Pickens. And I'm not, as a Cowboys fan, saying that, but having George Pickens, knowing what he could do without George Pickens and just CeeDee Lamb. We saw CeeDee Lamb lead the league and in almost every category and break the receiver at in WARP 2 years ago. So just knowing that he has a counterpart with CeeDee Lamb and he's healthy. They just signed Ferguson. The offense is, I guess, going to take a step up. I think 12 is even too low. So I'm 100% going with Dynasty with underdog on that one with the 12th ranking.
Yeah. So I'm just now quickly looking at some of his finishes throughout his career. I mean, he's had multiple top 10 seasons. Yeah. I guess the question, this is probably going to be, we've been talking about this all off season long, Fizz. Who do they have to pass the ball to? It's going to be one of the best duos that we see in the NFL this year with CeeDee Lamb, George Pickens. Who does he have the ball to hand off to? It's Javonte, Miles Sanders. I don't remember what Tom called him. I think he called him Slime Sanders, and then Jaden Blue. So it's just like, this is probably the weakest running game he's had since, this might even be worse somehow than Rico Dowdle in the shadow of Ezekiel Elliott. So they're going to have to pass the ball a lot. They might be without their best defensive player in Micah Parsons. So, and their defense was not good last year. I mean, they had to hold on for all they could without Dak Prescott putting any pressure on opposing defenses by not being able to score the ball because they had freaking Cooper Rush. So if everything goes well with a bad defense or a mediocre defense at best, and one of the best duos in the NFL at wide receiver that's going to be stretching defenses, be putting defenses in a pretzel, Fizz, I don't see why Dak Prescott shouldn't be valued, especially at age 32. He could play for another 4 to 6 years, Fizz.
Yeah.
So why are we? I'm exactly like you. I'm going to definitely be on the underdog side. I think QB 12 is a lot better than QB 21, Fizz, in Dynasty.
100%. And anybody that's getting them at QB 21, congratulations. You know what I'm saying? I think this year he won't. After this year, that price will be up. It might be at, I ain't going to say 12, but we can get him up from 21. He can at least be QB 16 to 15 with another breakout year with the weapons he has to play with in Dallas. So I'm definitely going underdog side on this one, Rock, with Dak for sure. What up, Harry?
All right, let's move on to the next guy because there's lots of names on here. I'm just going to hit the biggest ones. Okay. Justin Fields. Let's talk about your guy, Justin Fields. I want to hear from you what you're expecting from him this season. I kind of want to surprise you with where they're ranked. in Dynasty via and also too in Redraft Fizz.
So when you say what I'm expecting, do you mean by his ranking or
no, just his production this season? What's your expectations?
Well, I'm gonna go to reality and knowing that he's not listed as the best passer, right? They just signed Garrett Wilson, gave him a big contract, which I believe they had to do anyway. But I'm reading that his foot injury isn't so bad. It was just a toe, but it's something that could get worse or better at times. Him running the ball is what people know that he can do. Him running the ball is what people expect for him to do. But I'm gonna be honest, Rob. I believe Justin Fields doesn't want to do what people want him to do. Now, whether he can do that in reality on the field or not, that's a whole different thing. But I think he's coming into this season because they already had adjusters like a bottom 5 team, top 5 pick. I think he wants to shut all of that narrative down, man. And just coming into this season, being maybe comfortable with Garrett Wilson and went to college together. I don't know, man. I could see him getting over reality of passing. Close to 3,000. I'm gonna give him close to 3,000 yards, right? I'm gonna give him close to 3,000. I'm gonna give him 3,000. I'm gonna cut it at 3,000. I'm gonna give him 3,000 because, I mean, to be honest, in that division, you got to score against Buffalo. You're going to go against the Patriots with a tough defense, but in that conference, man, any team in that conference, I'm not sure their schedule right now, but any team in that conference, bro, they're going to have to put up points in that conference. It's a whole lot of scores going down in that conference. We watched the Texans last year have to put up points. We watched the Chargers be better on offense. The Broncos got better on offense. The Chiefs are going to be better on offense. So everybody in this conference in the AFC has gotten better. I don't see the Jets just having to skate through just by playing defense and win games. So if you're thinking that Justin Fields won't get you at least 3,000, I believe you're doubting him. So I'm going to give him 3,000 passing. Definitely a double-digit passing touchdown season. I can't give you the high rating of it. What I'm going to do, Rob, instead of me just talking about my guy, I'm going to sit down this year before the season starts, and I'm going to give you a reality check on Justin Fields and what I actually believe. But since I'm going off the cuff, I'm definitely going to give him 3,000 passing. I'm going to give him over 500 rushing because he has to run the ball, honestly, with this team. And let's go 8 or 9 rushing touchdowns, man. So that sounds like a lot right there, right? So it sounds like to me, man, he should be, if not top 12, top 9 in reality to me. What you thinking?
Damn. So BetMGM is not aligned with you. They have him, I believe, the lowest of any QB going into this upcoming season with passing yards, 2550.5. So It sounds like you're taking the over on that. They only project 2,500.
But that's why I gave
Justin Fields
3,000, Rock, because I really believe he has to throw for 3,000 if they're going to try to win some games, bro. He has to. That's 2,500. I don't see it being a reality for them. Like, he might as well just not play if he only going to throw for 2,500.
Well, if he throws for 3,000, that must mean that Garrett Wilson is going to be getting 2,000 receiving yards this season because they got no one else to be throwing to.
There, man, they got Reynolds.
Oh my God! All right, we're starting to get into the show.
They got the young Ted. They got Taylor. They got Breece Hall. I mean, Breece Hall, man, he's
Apparently, he's yesterday's news because they're all about Braylon Allen, man.
I know. You know what, Rob? It's hard for me, man, to talk about my guy. You shouldn't ask for Justin Fields. I'm gonna hype him up, man. Come on, Rob. Don't do me like that.
Okay, so his dynasty value is QB 23. His underdog value, Fizz, is QB 10. Isn't that crazy? So underdog and the redraft streets are all in on Justin Fields and what he can provide because of that rushing upside.
Well, look at DK, the DK experience. He said he got both, and he planned on starting Fields in the lineup league, man.
I do have a best ball league where it's super flex, and I actually have both of these quarterbacks in Fields and Mahomes. So I'm going to be riding that train this year as well. But yeah,
but then again, you gotta look at, not to cut you off. Look at DK's thumbnail though, man. I don't know. He looks like he got some wild things going on over there, man. He's living in the fire. Yeah. I don't know if we could trust his analysis on this one, but shout out to you, DK. We appreciate you, bro.
No, he's used to going into a situation that's tough, so he don't care.
What up, Terminal?
So yeah, QB 10 underdog, QB 23 in Dynasty. Let's move on to another one.
All right, isn't it
Baker,
crazy to see the biggest differences, like from what you're reading with these rankings, bro? That's a big jump from 10. That's a big jump, bro.
well, Fizz,
It's
just
gonna get crazy. I know.
yeah, put your seatbelt on. There's some even crazier ones. Okay, Baker Mayfield, Dynasty Data Lab, QB 14. He is the QB 7 Fizz on Underdog. So he's twice the difference with where he's at right there. People they're not scared about Liam Cohen leaving. They look at Emeka Ibuka coming through. They look at maybe Bucky Irving taking that step forward. And they're also looking at, I think, another correlation here is they didn't have a great defense last year either. So they're going to have to be passing a lot. And also, too, he's probably in the friendliest division for quarterbacks, Fizz, because he has to play the Saints twice a year, the Panthers twice a year, and the Falcons twice a year. I mean, who else has it better than that, Fizz?
You're right.
Than Baker Mayfield.
You're
so
100%.
which side are you picking? QB7 or QB14?
You know what, bro? Every time we talk about these quarterbacks, though, you think their opportunity is always better. And it's like if we could pile 15 quarterbacks in the top 10, I think we would do it. You know what I'm saying? Like
that's the crazy thing. It's like we expect all these guys to take a step forward.
Exactly.
All the guys that were hurt, like Dak Prescott, take a step forward. And like it seems like there's going to be 20 QBs in the top 10 this year, Fizz.
I'm gonna be honest, Rock, and I'm gonna say this. Shout out my boy Corey, man. He is tapping in with us, man. We appreciate you because my boy never taps into any content. So we appreciate you, big dog. We're glad you're here.
He doesn't miss any of our shows, Fizz.
Yeah, we've been noticing that, Corey. We appreciate you, big dog.
We appreciate you, Corey.
We appreciate
I got something coming to you this week, Corey. So I appreciate it.
Okay, man. My boy said he got it coming, man. So I'm gonna say this, Rock. I'm gonna be the bearer of bad news. I'm gonna drop Baker a little bit this year, man. I'm not gonna give him that top shot.
You're gonna give him the QB 14?
I wouldn't say 14, but I'm gonna say 14 since this is the show, and I'm gonna go 14, and this is why. Because you specifically always stress about Chris Godwin and that foot injury. We're all expecting Mike Evans. I mean, he cracked 1,000 with the last play of the season last year, right? Literally like a 6-yard pass.
Missed a couple games, yeah.
He did, right? And Buka is going to be one of those dogs. I will believe that. But I will say, if I had to bet on the QB taking the season a step back, and I'm not only saying QB 14 because I want him to be there. I'm just saying taking a step back. Because last year, bro, he had this outrageous season. Touchdown, it was just crazy. You know what I'm saying? So if I had to bet on a guy to take a step back, maybe Bucky Irving gets more love, right? They starting to see what they got in that backfield. I believe Todd Bowles, he wants to play defense and run the ball anyway. He's not one of those. Go ahead, bro.
Coach has said that he can handle RB1 workhorse touches. They came out yesterday.
For sure. And Todd Bowles, Raheem Moore, these type of guys don't want to throw the ball anyway. I believe Baker kind of didn't have a choice in a sense, but in that offense with Liam, Liam wanted to do what he does. They got a new OC over there. If anyone was to take a step back with the best opportunity with that division, I believe it's Baker Mayfield. So I'm going to give him the 14 because I'm just taking him out of the top 10. But if he hit 12, I wouldn't knock that either. So Baker Mayfield, I'm going to say, going to take the step back. Unfortunately, for the people that's drafting him and trust him to break records again, I just don't see it happening again, bro.
All right, let's move on to...
Shout out to the DK experience, man. We appreciate you for the sub, brother. I always appreciate that love, big dog. So let's give him a little bit of love, man. What we going to show him, man? What we got for him, man?
Caleb Williams, DK. Let's talk about it. QB7 on Dynasty Data Lab. QB13, though, in Underdog Streets. So we expect the Ben Johnson, experience for him to be catapulted into that top 10 echelon, Fizz. He has probably one of the greatest set of weapons in the entire NFL. And we want to see him pay off that 101 in when he was taken 2 years ago or last year. So where are you on with Caleb Williams, QB7 or QB13?
I believe this is the year to step up, man. If we had Baker going up there, right? Because Baker had Baker QB7, right? That was QB7 we just talked about. Yeah,
that was the underdog side.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, if we had to compare the two and say which one would actually be QB7, I'm going Baker, man. I'm going Caleb, and I gotta go with Caleb because of the hype, because of the youth, but also because of I believe everybody in that building needs to make it work. Not that they want to make it work, but they need to make it work. Ben Johnson, all I've been reading about Ben Johnson is he walking in that door real confident. He telling guys what they should be doing, what they shouldn't be doing. He dogging some players. And a lot of people saying, hey, bro, you a rookie too. Like, you ain't proved nothing in this league as a head coach. So I believe Ben Johnson is betting on himself. He's betting on Caleb because his number one job is to get Caleb in that top 10, that top 7. Because if he don't, we're going to look at it last year as just, oh, you had all these other weapons in Detroit, and that's what got you here. So I believe Ben Johnson, man, has to get Caleb to QB7 or else. So I'm going with Caleb at QB7, bro.
I want to give a shout out to Nick at BDGE. He tweeted about this a couple of weeks ago. He said that no one is talking about Caleb Williams' rushing upside. He scored 27 rushing touchdowns during his college career, 483 rushing yards last year with the Bears, 0 rushing touchdowns, Fizz. So if he is able to get some more of those rushing touchdowns, like, I think
I know this is practice. I'm gonna tag you in a video. He was a highlight video of course, you can't tackle the quarterback, but Caleb was out there, hit the spin move. He was going up. I said, oh, yeah, Caleb trying to get it, brother. So I'm gonna tag you in that on Twitter, man. But Caleb, I forgot about the rushing upside, man. Caleb can run, bro. Caleb can. If you believe in Justin Herbert and Trevor Lawrence and these guys to run, you can't say Caleb Williams can't do the same thing. So I'm with you, man. That's why he's gonna be top 7, brother. Top 7.
All righty, let's move on. We've talked about Drake May throughout this entire offseason. At least I have with the hate. Underdog QB9, Dynasty data. Actually, it's a flipped around. It's Dynasty Data Lab is QB9, and then Underdog, he's QB14. We're going to move on past that because Tom talked about it the other night with us. Justin Herbert, he is the QB8 in Dynasty. He is the QB17, Fizz, on Underdog. I thought that was kind of wild. That's one of the biggest discrepancies on my list right there. So how are you feeling about Jim Harbaugh, hitting his pads, getting them all hyped up? He definitely would go with the QB8 side. And he is getting, another weapon in Trey Harris. Got the Marion Hampton experience. He's going to be, dumping the ball off to him. I want to be surprised if he takes a couple of screens to the house this upcoming season. But how are you feeling? Which side are you taking, QB8 or QB17?
Man, I hate that's a big difference, bro. We got some terrible differences right now, man. And I wouldn't put him at either one, but I'm gonna give him closer to 18. And the reason why is just because with them having an Omari and Hampton, I know he's a rookie, but this guy's a tank, man. This dude, I would never want to tackle this man, bro. And I believe if he could stay healthy and get the offense going the way I believe they want to play. I'm not saying Justin Herbert can't pull a Josh Allen type game where he rushes the ball on the goal line a couple of times and steal the touchdowns from the young rookie, but I just don't see them wanting Justin Herbert to go out there and throw the ball for 4,500 yards and 38 touchdowns, something like that. I don't think they want that, to be honest. So unfortunately,
I hope it does happen with Ladd McConkey. I hope he gets all of it, man.
For sure. But I say this, he has the weaponry to do it. I just don't believe they want him to do it. So as long as they play the formula that I believe they want to play, I don't see him reaching that top 10 status at quarterback. So I'm gonna go with falling to the back of the list, unfortunately, for Herbert. But I would still take him if he's available in my drafts, though, at the right price.
Well, you see what Schumer wrote.
Yeah, I put it up there early.
All right. I'm gonna
be hating on Rock, man. He got to show love, man. Come on, man.
My cup is overflowing. I got to give the other people shouts out, man. So, but no. Another thing that I do love is the ranking of Jordan Love. So in Dynasty, he's QB12. Underdog Fizz, he's the QB 18. I guess they don't have much faith in him with passing. That was one of the things that EV brought up when I went on a show. Shout out to him. He missed, I think, 2 games last year from getting hurt in that Brazil game against the Eagles. He probably played a lot of last year hurt.
Yeah.
And we're looking for them with drafted Matthew Golden. It's not going to be entirely the Josh Jacobs show. I mean, that's a lot of pressure to put on a rookie wide receiver, but between Jaden Reed, who I think is one of the most underrated wide receivers, hopefully he can get put in more advantageous role this upcoming season. I think that it's going to be maybe closer to the Dynasty side with that. But the one I really want to get your thoughts on, Fizz, CJ Stroud, QB 11 in Dynasty. He is the QB 20 in Underdog. That's probably the most shocking of any of these QBs on this list.
That is.
So let's talk through that one real quick, and then we'll move on to RBs. What are your thoughts on QB 20 versus QB 11, Fizz?
Well, I think that hopefully y'all don't hit this grass. They cutting right beside my window. I will say though, my biggest thing with CJ Stroud, especially with this Joe Mixon injury, I believe there's no way, Rock, that he could be as far as he's falling now, because it looked like to me they got to throw the ball. I know Nick Chubb is there. I know Woody Marks is there. You got a Duma Wale and all these other guys. I believe they're going to have to throw this ball to compete in this league. And I know they boosted defense up a little bit, but if you ever was betting on CJ Stroud to have to stop, drop back, and deliver the ball to all these new receivers he got, plus a Nico Collins, I believe the statistical season that we may want from him, he's forced to do it, not just because he wants to do it. So the run game is definitely taking a step back. Chubb is older, and like I said, Woody Marks is a rookie. I believe CJ Stroud, bro, will 100% outscore every ranking that he is listed at right now. So,
Tom broke my heart with the Nick Chubb shit.
Yeah,
all the things the coach was talking about. So, yeah, that kind of put the kibosh on that. I'm definitely a lot closer to QB 11 Fizz than QB 20. So 100%. Those are some of the values that you can get in your underdog drafts this upcoming season. And we talk about it every time we've done a stream, Fizz, with underdog, is like, man, these QBs keep falling. And this is the reason why. So make sure you guys keep that in mind with your underdog drafts. All right, let's move on to RB, Fizz. Okay, so we'll start off with one that is really hard for me to get behind, but then Tom was saying the same thing. He kind of thinks that this guy is kind of done. Christian McCaffrey is the RB4 in underdog. He is the RB14 in Dynasty. Which side are you taking, Fizz? I know this is one that we keep going back and forth on. It's just like we want to take the risk. He might be worth it, but he also might be done.
Right. Well, shout out to the RB4, but underdog. What the hell is going on over at Underdog, man, for RB4? I know we've seen it because we've done plenty of them, but RB4, man, I'm not gonna lie, right? A lot of us don't even have him playing 100% in 4 games, let alone finish RB4. So
maybe he doesn't need to be 100%. Maybe 80% is still better than a lot of the NFL. And that's what I keep going back to. I've been saying that myself, bro. 80% is better than 100% of a lot of people in this league, right? I just don't know, because I don't know if you saw this, right? I know you don't know the news all the time. Garendo just suffered a multiple week injury. So he already down one running back already. Oh, what? When did that happen? This morning?
The injury was yesterday. So
damn.
As you know, like I know, they run through running backs like water, bro. So I'm just saying that to say, hopefully Christian McCaffrey can stay healthy, but they're down one backup already for a couple of weeks anyway.
Oh my God.
I don't think it's nothing significant, but it definitely was. They said multi-week.
You know what? They always say that shit, especially with the 49ers. If it's a multi-week for the 49ers, that means it's going to be like a multi-month for every other player. Right. So, oh my God.
But to say this one, keep it short, bro. I'm not gonna give him the 4, to be honest. It's so much talent this year running back. I will put Derrick Henry at 4 before I put Christian McCaffrey, bro. So,
all right, well, let's move on to Derrick Henry. So he is the RB17 in Dynasty, RB7 in Underdog. So it sounds like you're a lot closer to the RB7 side than the 17 side.
100%, bro. I believe the King does know how to take care. Not saying Christian McCaffrey doesn't, but the King knows how to take care of his body. He's in the offense where they're going to run the ball. They're probably going to need to run the ball with the division that they're in. And I never bet against the King, baby. So I'm going to always go wherever he's ranked the highest at. So crown the King, man.
Yeah, why take, the risk at RB4 and Underdog when you can get Henry a round later, or a couple rounds later, you can get Alvin Kamara, RB18. And both Henry and Kamara, they're huge staples when it comes to health.
Yeah.
Like they really take care of their body. Their offenses run through them, and they're the focal points of their offenses. And even with defenses knowing that, they still can't stop them.
Still can't do nothing with them.
These guys are freaks. These guys are aliens. Whenever they're on the field, they are the best players on the field. With Derrick Henry, it's kind of crazy because he's got Lamar Jackson with him, which is the reason why I'm really excited for the Ravens again this year, running it back. They came real close last year, but Alvin Kamara is the RB18 in Underdog, RB23 in Dynasty. So not too big of a difference. Here's another one, and he's actually on the thumbnail or on your graphic right there. Chase Brown is the RB16 in Dynasty. Fizz, he's actually the RB10 in Underdog. So maybe he should actually be on the other side of that graphic right there. He's actually more loved in Redraft than he is in Dynasty. So what do you think of that? It's kind of surprising, huh?
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. I was kind of surprised because it seemed like his Dynasty price is the one that's getting pushed up a lot. But I just say I'm kind of in the middle with Chase, man, because we've only seen it for 1 year. But he did it in a year where the offense, bro, was just going crazy because they had no defense. It was the worst defense in the league by far, and they had to put up 40, 50, 60 points a game. So I believe, have a good day, sweetheart. I believe,
have a good
day. Roxy, have a good day, baby. My kids are leaving. Thank you, Ma. I appreciate you taking the kids. But let's go ahead and get back to it. Chase Brown, though, to me, though, he's just one of those guys, I don't know. I believe he's going to be good, but how good is he really going to be? And looking at him in this offense, they just went and got Noah Fant. They signed Gesicki back. They clearly telling us they want to continue to throw the ball. So I don't know how much they're going to prioritize his run game for him to reach better than what he was last year. But I don't think he's going to be too far from what he was last year either.
Fizz, and I keep saying that. I keep thinking he's going to be a one-year wonder. Just going through some of the different research I've been doing recently, there's no one else there. It's Samaje Perine and freaking Taj Brooks, who I do like, but I have to put expectations on it. It's just like he's not going to come into the NFL and demand touches away from Chase Brown. So even though he is on a pass-first offense, the heaviest pass offense from last year, because their defense is the worst in the entire NFL. It's still the worst. Even if Hendrickson comes back, I mean, I can only imagine if he doesn't get signed and he does hold out, but he is back now. There was no other RB that was more efficient than him at the end of last year. It was him. It was Jonathan Taylor. They were the ones that won people championships.
Yes, they did.
Much as I want to have reservations on him from just coming out of nowhere. And sometimes those guys, they usually don't stick. He doesn't have the greatest profile. He's kind of a smaller guy. He can do it all, and there's no competition, and they're going to have to score a lot of points.
And you know what, Rock? The reason why most times those guys don't stick is because they draft somebody else to kind of fill in. They didn't do that this year. They didn't go out of their way.
They're terrible at drafting, so maybe we should be more in on Chase Brown. I have one share of him.
Right.
He was on my one of my championship teams from last year. I have not traded him away, so maybe I'm going to hold on to him.
I traded mine for Devontae Smith, man. So, I got to get my boy Smitty, though, man. So, it is what it is. And shout out to Salt, man. He pulled this one out of the cut, man. He said Gumawale, his sister actually is one of the best players in the WNBA. So, we didn't know that, brother. We appreciate you keeping us updated on that, though. I went to WNBA game 2 weeks ago, man. It was my first one. Shout out to the ladies, man, for doing their thing, brother. Who we got up next, though, bro? Shout out DR for coming through, too, man. Appreciate you, big dog.
What's up, man? Breece Hall, QB or not QB, RB8 and Dynasty, RB13 though in Underdog.
Yeah, and we just had this conversation last week about him not being a top 10. I thought he was. The name value, bro. When you look at Breece Hall, you don't expect him not to be top 10 by the name value. But if I'm expecting Justin Fields to have 3,500 yards, then I don't, or 3,000 yards, I don't see how Breece Hall is going to have this top 8 season that he's listed as in Dynasty. So he might even be lower than what Underdog has him, bro, unfortunately, in 2025.
I mean, it could be, if they're going to not be passing the ball a lot, it could be the Breece Hall show, because I actually don't think Braylon Allen is all the hype. Because, there's RBs like Tom brought up, Kamani Baldal, from last year, where he got all the hype, didn't do shit during the season.
Yeah.
Where I don't think Braylon Allen is that bad. I just don't think he's like the elite RB that's going to be demanding all these touches from Brees
He's
Hall.
not a Zach Charbonnet, right?
No, he's not. I don't think he is. I would take Zach Charbonnet over him. I would take a lot of different backup RBs like Ray Davis over him.
Yeah.
So if they are not going to be passing the ball a lot, I think it has to be. This is what's tough about with Brees Hall is that he's also a dual threat guy. He can run and he can catch passes, even though Justin Fields is probably not going to be dumping the ball off a lot to him. I think the biggest thing with Brees Hall and what we said about a couple of weeks ago is when we were going through the projected points for each of these teams via Vegas and the projected wins. And the Jets are at the very bottom, right alongside, keeping the Cleveland Browns company. So that is the ultimate reason why I'm still fading Brees Hall. We have all these things that can go in his favor. But yeah, I think I would be also closer to the RB13 prices.
Yeah.
Let me go through a couple of these last ones, and then we'll see which ones you want to talk about.
Okay.
James Conner, RB29, Dynasty RB19 in Underdog. Travion Henderson is the RB10 in Dynasty, RB20 in Underdog. So there's a 10-spot difference there. Aaron Jones, RB36 in Dynasty, RB28 in Redraft. Tony Pollard, RB33 in Dynasty, Underdog, he's RB27. So a lot of those guys are either super old or super young.
I was about to say, bro, that was some ugly names you just gave us, bro.
Mm-hmm.
And other than Henderson, of course. But I will say, outside of Henderson, all those other three guys don't have any respect on their name in drafts, bro. Like, we got guys like us that kind of pump them up, the content people, but the regular smegular guys that are just drafting, nobody wants those people, bro. And then you get them at a value that you look back at your team, and when you sleep at app, you start getting projections. You're like, damn, this guy projected for 13 points, because we don't care for them until they start looking good. And every single year they look good. Aaron Jones, James Conner, but even Tony Pollard, right? We expect the Titans to take a step up with the new quarterback, but I don't even think we need to break those running backs down, bro, because nobody want them until we get them, and now we love them. So
here are the last two that I do actually want to talk about. I want you to pick a side. Jordan Mason and Scatabo. So Jordan Mason, Dynasty, is RB43.
Mhm.
Scatabo is RB26 in Dynasty. In Underdog, though, Jordan Mason is RB30. 13 spot difference in favor of Underdog. And then Scatabo is the RB35 in Underdog. So a 9-spot difference. So which side are you picking between Jordan Mason, Cam Scatabo, Dynasty, Underdog? What are you thinking?
Well, first of all, we got to whisper when we say Jordan Mason. We don't want people taking them from us. Okay, brother? He is going to break the backup running back fantasy this year, because if we expecting the Vikings to score as many points as we expect them to score, J.J. McCarthy being better than maybe what Sam Darnold was, I don't see why Jordan Mason, especially playing with an Aaron Jones, who in reality, bro, Aaron Jones is a little older. We know he doesn't need to run the ball a lot. He can pass. He can catch the ball. Why put him in a position to play and burn himself out before the playoffs, right? If I'm the team, I'm going to the younger guy in Jordan Mason, and I'm going to let him run this train, man, until the wheels fall off, until otherwise. So I believe you get anywhere you get Jordan Mason right now at his current price is a steal in every single draft.
Yeah, I don't think we need to worry about it in these dynasty circles, Fizz, because I think I've done 6 new drafts, startups this offseason. I think I got them in 5 of them, Fizz. Maybe you got them in that one other one.
I did.
So
I got you stole them from you the other ones.
I got like a 60% portfolio share of Jordan Mason. So
yeah,
definitely love to see that people in Underdog Streets are really excited for him this upcoming season. Probably one of the most valuable handcuffs in football going into 2025. What about Cam Scatabo, though?
I was gonna say, I want to hear your take on Scatabo. That's your guy, bro. I want you to give me. You let me rank the players on which side. I want to hear your take on Scatabo, because you can't get him. Everybody takes him from you because you talked about him too loudly during the offseason. So you give me your thoughts on his redraft and dynasty value.
I think it's tough because much like the Browns and the Jets, the Giants are not projected for a lot of wins. They have the hardest upcoming schedule into next year. They do have a solid veteran in Russell Wilson that's going to, not let the ship crash in the friggin' iceberg. So I do like that things should look a lot better than they did last year. They have a solid defense. They have one of the best draft picks in this draft class. That defensive line is going to be nasty, Fizz. So
It is.
I think that's going to keep them in games. And I like the duo between Tracy and Scatabo. And maybe even sprinkle on just a little bit of Singletary. People don't usually want that. They think, I don't need that in my recipe. But he's going to hold things down because Scatabo and Tracy, they do sometimes put the ball on the ground. But the main thing I'm really trying not to buy too much into, Fizz, is all these clips of him running away from the Giants defense.
He's burning people up, bro. He's the fastest man on the field, right?
Yeah. And then I remember saying that, and someone in the comments in our last show was like, man, the Giants defense slow as hell. It comes down to. So, but he is a guy, when going through my underdog hits and misses, Fizz, the number one thing that came up the most with misses and with hits is those guys that really do outperform their ADP, Fizz, they're dual threat guys. And Cam Scatabo is a dual threat guy. He's one of the best. I mean, he had the most rushing and receiving yards since CMC, in college last year. So he can definitely do it. I think he is a better athlete and definitely has a way better profile than Tyrone Tracy. But like we talked about a couple weeks ago, I mean, it's going to be hard to wrestle that away from Tyrone Tracy. Usually they gave last year's vet now for Tyrone Tracy. It's his second year. They're going to give him more of the nod going into this upcoming season. So I just don't know how many opportunities Cam Scatabo is going to get right out the gate. So I'm not sure if he does pay off the underdog or the Dynasty RB26 prices. Maybe it is closer to 35, but he might be one of those guys that the last half of the season, Fizz, he does get some run. So,
yeah. But let's hope by then people are tired of him and they trade him away to us early because people don't seem to like holding on to players, man, when they're not doing nothing early, man. So, go ahead, brother. We in the receivers now. What's up, Mitch? How you doing, Playboy? We appreciate you, man.
I also do want to give a shout out to what DR just said. He said I'd take Bigsby over Scat. I mean, that was one thing they were talking. I think they listed on the depth chart today, Fizz. It says both Etienne and Tank for RB1. So it's just kind of funny.
Tank he got the hype right now. All season. That's all you hearing. So
okay, let's move on to these wide receivers. So Tyreek Hill, you have him listed right there in the graphic. He is in Dynasty. No one loves him. He's the wide receiver 32. Well, underdog still loves him, Fizz. He's the wide receiver 12. So,
jeez, bro, that's a
difference.
That is crazy, bro. 20 spot difference. That's crazy. I'm not even sure. I believe he's receiver 12. As much as I keep telling people, man, y'all sleeping on Tyreek. He's one, getting them this late, blah, blah, blah. But if he's that far, I guess I will put him in the middle. I can't put him at 32. I can't put him at
gotta
10.
pick a side, Fizz.
I know. I say this where I think he could be. If he plays the way we know he could play, Tyreek Hill Tua is healthy. I believe, like we already said, and I sound crazy saying this, Miami is on their last leg. They probably been on that for like 3 years anyway, but the whole coaching staff, the entire roster should be waking up saying, man, this is my last opportunity to prove that I know what I'm doing with this team, or they're going to break everything up. So if I'm a bet, and I am a betting man, I believe Tyreek Hill. He ain't been on streams talking about he want to be a porn star lately. Let's go with Tyreek Hill at the redraft price, bro.
No, instead he's just giving away the secrets of what they're doing in practice at RB, man.
That's true. But he seems to be focused on football now, though. He's not playing around on YouTube and Twitch and all this. He seems to me to want to play football and be back in football. And I believe Jalen Waddle might, because they hyping Jalen Waddle up. They saying Waddle looks like the receiver one. And I think Tyreek, being the alpha type of guy that he is, he don't want to admit that Waddle could be better. So he's going to go out there and prove everybody that I'm still that guy, man.
Well, it is a long season, so he has plenty of time to screw it up. I don't like talking shit about one of my favorite all-time wide receivers, Fizz, but it was kind of tough Seeing how he performed last year, I think he kind of cliffed. Be honest with you, I think this.
I think the whole team was. I think the team though, bro. The morale of that team was just down in the pit. It was over with.
They lost their two best offensive linemen. Tua is a huge injury risk, and yeah, I'm really, really scared for the receiving game. I am super high on Devon Achane. I think I'm way higher than him than maybe anyone else out there for this upcoming season. I was pretty surprised where I have him ranked for these underdog drafts. So I think it kind of might be over, even though some people are going to bring up, yes, he played 12 games with torn wrist last year. I don't know, man. It's really, really tough.
32 though, bro. I think 32 is tough, bro.
It is tough, but you can end up there real quick if something happens.
Receiver you can, bro. We got breakout receivers every day. You're right.
It's crazy. It is probably the most cutthroat position when it comes to just how quickly you can fall out of grace. Yeah. It's just because of how many wide receivers there are. So another one that's really huge, Devontae Adams.
Your guy.
He is my guy. Wide receiver 40 in Dynasty. What's going on?
Breaking news, Rock. Kyron Williams, the guy that we kind of like, I've been talking about, I'm taking every year or every draft. He's expected to sign 3-year, $33 million extension, 23 guarantees. So he locked in. All your Jaquiz Hunters, he's going to take over the backfield in eight games and all that is over with, man. Kyron Williams, 3 years, $33 million, 23 guaranteed, brother. So that's about that's more than half of the contract guaranteed. So hey,
you know what that means then? I don't have to trade him away in Dynasty because I thought
that's why I brought it up, because every draft, remember, I think I just said my two guys I've been taking more and more each draft is Jonathan Taylor and Kyron Williams. I think I just said that last week when we was talking. And my biggest fear was Sean McVay, right? He couldn't wait to get Hunter in the draft. We saw the video. Oh man, I'm so glad I got him. And then they got Blake Corum, and we watched how they just jumped in through Kyron and over Cam Akers because he fell out of favor with the coaching staff. So good to see Kyron is locked in. He got signed. Well, he's about to get signed anyway. And again, $23 million out of a $33 million deal. Hey man, look like you're here to stay with me, brother.
Yeah. No, you love to see that. I mean, it was him and CMC that had like the most touches of any player the last couple of years, especially on the goal line, man.
Yeah.
I mean, he's just been an absolute machine.
Touchdown machine for sure.
So I thought that, going into his third year, it's like, I've enjoyed the last 2 years of production. Maybe I should move on from Kyron Williams. But you know what? They probably looked around. They looked at Blake Corum, who they were really excited about last year. Sean McVay gave us a whole bunch of bullshit last year saying how Blake Corum was basically just Kyron Williams 2.0. Didn't give him shit last year. And all this stuff about Jarquez Hunter, who I was not super high on. I do like Sean McVay. I like him being able to scout RB. So I'm like, maybe he sees something in Jarquez. Maybe I should be boosting him up. No, absolutely not. It's just going to be Kyron Williams until the wheels fall off. So at least for this upcoming season, he should be definitely a top 12 guy.
Lock him in. And then we'll see where he falls in Dynasty drafts now, because every draft I was, like, hey, I'm getting him, man. I believe in the offense. So, but who we got next, Rock? My bad. We had some breaking news, man. Oh, no, you said Tyreek later? You're going later, right? I got you, Connor. Give us a minute, bro. We're going to go through this. I got you at the end, bro.
Devontae Adams, wide receiver 40 in Dynasty. He is the wide receiver 16, Fizz, in Underdog. That's tough. I guess Underdog, maybe they ain't too scared about the back injury with Stafford, with Stafford. He's going to be catching passes from Jimmy G, who he absolutely hates. He freaking torched him on the receiver show. That was hilarious. He's playing with him again. So which side are you on? Wide receiver 40? I mean, he was a top 12 guy last year. Can he do it again this upcoming season, Fizz?
It's tough, man. Wide receiver 40, bro. What is put some respect on your elders, man. You know what I'm saying? Tyreek 32, Adams 40. I can't give him receiver 16 though, bro. Was that 16 or 12? You said 16, right? Yeah, man, bro. I guess I gotta go 40 because I can't pick in between. So
absolutely not, Fizz. We're talking about Devontae Adams, man. He ain't ever going to be a wide receiver for
you, man, because I'm going Puka or die, man. It's like, I don't know what Adams going. It don't matter to me. Puka is the man I want, man. All right.
Yeah.
That's tough, though. That's tough, man. That's a tough
one. Okay. Here's another big one. We're just going to go with all the old farts here. Mike Evans, wide receiver 34 in Dynasty. Underdog, wide receiver 19, Fizz.
I'll be honest.
Have we seen the best of Mike Evans? Is he going to cliff? Or is he got one more year?
I think this is the year, bro. This is step back year right here. This is step back fade away jumper right here, man. This ain't attack the rim and dunk it on 5 people. This is a step back, fade away, Dirk Nowitzki year right here, brother. I'm going Mike Evans, got some gray hairs coming in, and it might not be the best season for him.
Well, let's go to his teammate, the rookie that's coming in. Everyone's been talking about it. I love how at the beginning of this offseason, Fizz, I was like, man, everyone's hating on Emeka Egbuka, but I really love the landing spot. Now everyone's like Emeka Egbuka to the moon over the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, you definitely been on it. You've been hyping him up because now he's locked in. He's locked in first round pick now for us in Dynasty drafts.
Yeah, so he's the wide receiver 26 in Dynasty. He is the wide receiver 44, Fizz, in Underdog. So Underdog, they don't really get in on these rookies. You know, that's one of their biggest glaring weak spots when it comes to the rankings. But which one are you on? Are you on the wide receiver 26 or wide receiver 44 side for Emeka Egbuka?
I gotta go. If I'm gonna actually out my mouth put Adams at 40, I gotta go Buka at 44, bro. I got to. So respectfully, the young guy gotta wait his turn. I'm gonna keep him at 44.
Alrighty, it just seems like you're not in on the Tampa Bay offense this upcoming season, man. But that's okay. That's fine. I'll take all the.
It's kind of crazy because I love the offense, though. Now you got me thinking about my realities and my dreams. What the hell am I doing over here, man?
What the hell? All right. What about Rome Odunze? So he is the wide receiver 19 in Dynasty. He's the wide receiver 33 though in Underdog, Fizz. I mean, gonna be doing this upcoming season.
I think 33, bro. That's definitely going to get bro. I mean, we just talked about Caleb Williams being in the top 7. I don't see how he doesn't get there with Rome being a wide receiver 33. So, yeah, I gotta go higher than 33, but I'll give him 33 since that's the game we're playing. But this is Rome's year right here, man.
All righty. Okay. Let's go with another guy that's on the graphic. Cortland Sutton just got paid. But people on Dynasty don't care for this. He's the wide receiver 42, out mile high. He ain't got no one else competing with him at wide receiver except Vele and Pat Bryant. But despite that, an Underdog, he's wide receiver 27, Fizz. So a huge difference between him.
And this is the thing, right? You had Mike Evans are receiving 19 or 18. I think Sutton could have a better year than Mike Evans this year, bro. He's the number one target in the Sean Payton offense, where Mike Evans still has Godwin and Buka, Bucky Irvin. I mean, I'm gonna go 100% on the redraft side of Cortland Sutton, man. Got to. I believe he just signed a contract. This is his year right here, man. They want Bo Nix to break out. They can't do it without Sutton being who we believe he could be. So I'm going Sutton high as he can go this year.
Here's another one. You brought him up earlier, talking about Devontae Smith. He is the wide receiver 20 in Dynasty, Fizz. An Underdog, though, he's a wide receiver 28. So an 8-spot difference, not as big as some of these other ones. But which side are you in on? Wide receiver 20 or wide receiver 28?
My biggest fear for Smitty, Rock, it seems like he has his best games when Goddard gets hurt. When Goddard's out, that's when Smitty has his best work. And I can't guarantee that Goddard gets hurt. You know what I'm saying? So I actually thought he cracked 1,000 yards last year, and I was mistaken when I looked it up, and he didn't. He was almost there. He was at like 960 something, but almost at 1,000. I think this year, though, they're not going to lean on the run. They're going to lean on, letting Jalen Hurts cook. People sleeping on Hurts. We don't want Saquon to run for 2,000 yards again this year. So I'm gonna put Smitty up.
Yes, we do. We got him in fantasy. We do.
Well, I'm saying the team is saying that. So I'm gonna put Smitty up there a little higher because I just think they have to throw the ball this year. You can't go out there and let Saquon run the ball 35 times, and you don't need to do that in year 2 of him being there.
Okay, I want to list just some of these names real quick. There's not a huge difference. JSN is wide receiver 12 Dynasty, Underdog wide receiver 17. Tet, wide receiver 16 Dynasty, wide receiver 21 in underdog. And then Hunter, this is probably one of the biggest ones. He is the wide receiver 15 in Dynasty, and underdog Fizz, he's the wide receiver 32. But I can tell you this, he's probably one of the biggest differences between him and Achane. Those are going to be the two guys I probably draft the most in underdog. I have Hunter really, really high in underdog ranks. I just put a lot of expectation on him.
Yeah.
I just feel like I've seen way too much. I feel like this is going to be like one of those seasons, Fizz, similar to Jamar Chase, where the redraft people, they're going to be like, who the hell is this guy? I'm like, you didn't know about him? You didn't know about the Heisman winner? He's just going to come in and wreck shop. So that's what I'm expected for Travis Hunter.
I mean, to hear him at 32, bro, that's tough because now you got me saying here, I'm gonna have to do another underdog soon. Like, I didn't know he was going that late. I mean, I pay attention while I'm doing the draft, but just hearing the number, yeah, that's a steal, bro. At 32, that's tough.
Yeah. Calvin Ridley's old ass in Dynasty is wide receiver 51, but he's a wide receiver 30 in underdog. That's a 19 spot difference right there. Jawan Jennings, wide receiver 53 in Dynasty. He's a wide receiver 35 in underdog. I know both you and me love Jawan Jennings. Could be the wide receiver 1 if any of those guys miss time between Ayuk and Pearsall. So I think that's definitely a smash for underdog sides. But I want to end it, the wide receiver segment with these two guys. Zay Flowers is the wide receiver 22 in Dynasty. He's the wide receiver 31 in underdog. And then your dude Addison, wide receiver 25 in Dynasty. He's the wide receiver 37 in underdog. So let's pick a side between Flowers and Addison. Are we going the Dynasty side or are we going the underdog side with those two guys?
Well, with Addison, knowing he's possibly facing a suspension, and then we talk about it with Zay, man. We love Zay. We believe Zay can break out anytime he touches the ball. He has that Tyreek Hill type burst when he has it in his hand. But I don't know if how much he's going to get the ball in his hand. So I'm gonna go with the Dynasty side over the redraft side with both of these guys. If I was to ever bet on two young guys to maybe not take a step up, but just kind of be where they are, like just finish where we expect them, it'll be these two receivers right here. So I'm gonna go with the Dynasty draft side on this one for both of those guys.
And do you want me to go to the tight ends next, or do you want to get at Connor's question before we move on?
No, you go to tight ends, and then we're gonna finish with Connor, and we're gonna get up out of here. I know you gotta go to work, brother.
Yeah, the chef's probably watching right now. He's like, "Man, get off the stream right now. Get your ass in the kitchen."
We're gonna make sure that we can pay the bills and keep the lights on up in here, Playboy. So let's go ahead and get to this. We're gonna get it, Connor. We still appreciate everybody that's here, man. The chat having their own chat, so we appreciate all that, man. So let us know about these tight ends, the position nobody seems to care about except for me and you and nobody else. So let us know what's good with that one, bro.
Okay, so not a huge difference with Tyler Warren. He's the tight end 4 in Dynasty. He's the tight end 9 in underdog. But one that is a bigger difference, my dude Colston Loveland is the tight end 6 in Dynasty, and I absolutely love that. In underdog, he's the tight end 12. So it's twice as many spot difference right there. People in the underdog streets are asleep on Colston Loveland, who I think could be Caleb's favorite target in this upcoming 2025 season, Fizz. So I'm definitely liking that side. It makes a lot of sense with Kelsey. He's the tight end 15 in Dynasty. He's the tight end 6 still in underdog. People still think he's got 1 year left in him. One guy that our dude Debro brought up, and I'm starting to grow more on the Dallas Goedert thing. He is the tight end 23 in Dynasty, Fizz. But he's the tight end 14 in underdog. So a huge difference with him. I'm very surprised with Evan Ingram. It seems like people in Dynasty are not really in on Evan Ingram.
Bro, he's going like every draft we do on Tuesday or Sunday. He's going where I'm like, damn, am I tripping for taking him higher or thinking I should have took him around earlier? Because Dynasty, the temperature hasn't risen at all for Ingram. At all.
No, he's the tight end 17 in Dynasty, but Fizz, he's the tight end 8 in underdog. I know he's gone to a new spot. I know he's not going to get like 110 freaking catches like he did a couple of years ago in Jacksonville, but tight end 8 seems a lot closer to what he's actually going to perform at, barring injury. our dude Stranger Things, tight end 25 in Dynasty, tight end 18 in Underdog. But this is the most egregious one. Hunter Henry is the tight end 31 in Dynasty Fizz, but the tight end 19 in Underdog. We're talking about a guy who could easily be second behind only Stephon Diggs and maybe Demario Douglas in an offense with, McDaniels coming in as the OC. We're expecting May to take a step forward. Who the hell is he going to be passing to? Just only Diggs? You're going to put all this stuff on Kyle Williams and Pop Douglas? No, Hunter Henry is going to be probably his favorite target, especially in the red zone. And you guys are putting him at 31 in Dynasty. How dare you guys? So I think he's going to be one of the biggest steals in Underdog. And then last but not least, let's go with your guy Pitts. So he is the tight end 11 Fizz in Dynasty. Do you think he's higher or lower?
You said tight end. Oh, he's lower. He's definitely lower, bro. He's lower. He's low.
He's the tight end 16 and Underdog.
I believe it. I believe it, man. One thing, you know how the haters do, my boy, man. Just know I'm glad he's that low, because after this season, everybody gonna look at their rosters and their redrafts and their dynasties and say, "What the hell? What the hell?" Say, "What the hell? What was I doing? Not taking Kyle Pitts." Come on now, Kyle Pitts to the moon, 2025. Let's get it, Rock. Let's get it, baby. Go ahead, man. I always gotta celebrate.
Yeah.
Too hype when my boy Pitts start cranking up. Come on now.
I do want to give a shout out to DK talking about Ben Sinnott. Ben Sinnott was probably one of my favorite tight end prospects last year, but he just couldn't get past Zach Ertz, man. Whenever Zach Ertz goes to a new team, he was able to keep Trey McBride, on the sidelines, on the bench.
I was about to say this, and you know who was there? Who was the coach or the offensive coordinator when
Cliff Kingsbury?
There we go. So Trey McBride. Yeah. I'm not saying that Benson out of Trey McBride. Please don't say that it's what we're saying, right? We're not saying that.
But he could be really good. He could be really good.
History repeats itself, right? Zach Ertz blocked Trey McBride for 2 years, and why we gave up on him, and now Zach Ertz is blocking Benson out, and hopefully, hey man, we can get not a McBride, but we can get a Brad or a Mac or one of the two. You know what I'm saying? So let's get half of McBride with Benson out, and we can live with that, man.
Yeah, he had one of the best combines I've ever seen. Really good profile coming out. So I'm pretty excited for Ben Sinnott. I think he might be one of those tight ends. We went through it in another show, Fizz, how long it takes these guys to break out into the elite status of top 12. It takes about 3 years for a tight end to break out. Yep. So we're looking for his second year or his third year.
We love his quarterback. If you're going to bet on any tight end that you don't like or you think is done, look at the offense and the quarterback and say, all right, maybe I keep on and holding on for hope with this guy. Because Jaden Daniels is a quarterback. I'm holding on all the weapons I can in his offense.
Yeah, especially if Terry McLaurin, goes to the Baltimore Ravens, like I've been praying every night that he does. And they got old-ass broken Deebo Samuel to throw to, or old-ass Zach Ertz to throw to. Zach Ertz was lightning in a bottle last year. Do not expect him to repeat this upcoming season and do it again. I think he's an easy fade. Hopefully you enjoyed him last year, but I don't know who else they're going to throw to, Fizz. They got rid of De'Ami Brown. They got rid of everybody. So
They did. Hey, man, I live like, 15 minutes from the stadium, man. Call your boy, man. I put on my Commanders gear, man. I know my father loved that one. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to them, man. They're going to figure it out. Mm-hmm. We figured it out today, Rock. Hey, man, we appreciate everybody being here. And honestly, I looked at Connor. He didn't ask us a question. He was just letting us know, I guess. I don't know if this is a question or not, but he said he saw he's late. He said in the startup, he traded the 108 and the 305 for the 101 and the 512. I guess he wanted us to let him know what we felt about
that. 108 and 305 for 101.
So this is a startup. It's not a rookie draft. So I'm guessing, of course, the 101, he got a quarterback. Jaden Daniels. Oh, he said Josh Allen in the chat, I believe. I think he said Josh Allen. So for Josh Allen, go down to the 108. I'm guessing, Justin Jefferson or one of those guys.
I'm gonna
Bijan Robinson. He said he didn't make it yet. He didn't make it yet. He want Josh. So he made the trade, but I guess the draft didn't start yet.
So I'm going to Connor, if you actually take a look at, I'm going to put it in the chat real quick, is my article on the trade back chart for startups. So if you take a look at this real quick, I'll try to take a look at it for you right now. Man, you're getting up.
Oh, he said he didn't make the trade. I thought you said, okay.
Yeah, he didn't make it yet.
Okay.
You're trying to do a swap. Can you bring it back up real quick?
Yeah, the third round for a fifth round, pretty much.
Okay, but how many spots is he moving up? He's moving up from the 8 to the 1. Okay, so that's 7 spots. Yeah, so he's giving up. Yeah, I think the 305 to move up that many spots, I would definitely take the 108 and 305 side. Yeah, I really would actually take that side. Because you want to, if you're trading up that many spots, so you want to do a pick like 4 rounds. So if it was the 408 instead of the 305, I think that would be better. Me personally is try to trade the 408 away. I think the 305 is a little bit too much, because if I pull up Dynasty Data Lab, here are the guys that you could be missing out on in the 305, Fizz. That is Devon A-Chain, Marvin Harrison, Amari Hampton, JSN. So would you rather have Brock Bowers, Bijan, Malik Neighbors in one of those guys, or would you rather have Josh Allen? Basically what it comes down to.
Yep.
So which stack would you rather have?
I mean, CD Lamb could be there. Justin Jefferson could fall there. I mean, we've seen.
Oh yeah, those guys go after. So yeah.
Oh, okay.
CD Lamb would definitely go there.
Yeah,
you could definitely get him. So, me not personally, I want to do it, but Josh Allen is Josh Allen.
I mean, yeah, if you want Josh Allen or one of those quarterbacks there, bro, sometimes you got to pay the price, man. You got to do what you got to do, you know. But that's not a horrible like step back. It's just a lot. It's a lot. That 305, man. That 305 to have Marv, JSN. That's
yeah.
tough,
And he says he wants that Travis Hunter in the third round, man. He goes at the very end of the third round. So yeah.
Don't sound like you want Josh Allen then, brother. You know. So we'll see what you do, Connor. But hey, man, you still be in a marathon draft. That way you ain't got to make those decisions, Playboy. All right. But we appreciate everybody being here. My boy, the DK Experience, said great show, and he did subscribe today. So we appreciate you being here, big dog. And hey, man, it's Tuesday morning. You know how we doing Tuesdays, man. We had to get in the kitchen, give the people what they asked for and what we had prepared and served up. Rob, we drafting tonight, or I know you got work. Are we drafting tonight? I don't know.
I'm down if you're down. We'll see how it goes.
I'll let you know. My boy always put the pressure on me. But we're going to see what's good in these streets. To keep the notifications on, man, and make sure you know what's going on. If we do go on, it'll be 7:25 p.m. as always. And, hey, let my boy get out of here on the good words of wisdom, and we're going to let y'all go about your day.
All righty. So to live for today and to love for tomorrow is the wisdom of a fool, Fizz, because tomorrow is promised to no one. See, love is that wonderful thing that the whole world needs plenty of. And if you think for 1 minute that you can live without it, then you're only fooling yourself, Fizz. And that comes from the incomparable Tom Jones. So I was listening to him the other day. So
that sounds like some redraft realities and dynasty dreams, baby. You know, live for today in your redrafts, because them dynasty dreams ain't guaranteed for tomorrow, Playboy. So I like that quote right there, bro. That was that set the seasoning for what we just cooked up, man. And hey,
yeah,
we appreciate the people being here, man. So we didn't play the intro. I'm starting to learn that, hey, maybe we play the intro and the outro. So without further ado, Rock, close us out. Let's get the people up out of here, and we might see them tonight, man.
See you guys tonight, maybe.
Hey, they wrote me off, I ain't write them back. Nah. Follow me, but don't double tap. I ain't liking that. You subscribe, I monetize. Now who's striking that? Wanna see the contract? Who got the rights to that? This my story. I spent my whole life on life. Time's up. Shador Sanders with the rollie in the armor. I could do this shit with my eyes closed. The main attraction don't come at me with no side. I'm selling high.